Good morning. Top of the morning
Good
here in the
morning.
United States. Afternoon in the UK. The Breakfast Show. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Sunny skies in Newcastle United. Well, there's no sunny skies over there.
Sadly not.
Traffic is a bit light. Uh, s- stay,
Let's
stay
go to
home.
our eye in the sky.
Let's go with our reporter Derek Platten as he is on the streets of Newcastle, giving us a feel of what the people are feeling right now.
We're
Fuck
feeling
it.
a bit chilly.
Anyways, good morning, folks. Nice show today. This morning we have a few pieces of news related Newcastle United. Derek, how you doing, man?
I'm doing okay, mate. Doing okay.
You still have the restraining order on me?
I still have the restraining order on you. Yes, if you weren't
Man.
watching last night, if you weren't watching the Mags on Fives, you wouldn't know what that's all about.
Yeah, man. By the way, Mighty Mag asked, "Hey, Chris, you guys have Eclipse? Hope you get it. You get to see it. Actually, yes, I'm one of the states that you will be able to see the Eclipse, which is I didn't know. I thought everybody in the world was able to see it, but apparently, it's only a few.
No, it
So
depends exactly where you are on the earth.
Yeah, exactly right. Good morning to our viewers, by the way. Nice to see you, Mighty Mag, of course. Our one of our very well known mods, our king mod right now. So appreciate your support as usual. And yeah, it's your loyalty, my friend, is unmatched. Beer Biking, another loyal fan, loyal watcher, always lighting it up in the chat. Nice to see David Knight again. He says, "Hello, the Mighty Win. Do we have the clip of the Mighty Win doing that crazy noise from last night? That was so funny." Oh man, I would have never kept that, man. We deleted it as soon as we were off the stream. So
Give me
it sounds like a sheep, man. Anyways, welcome Jan Levens. Is that how you say his last name? I'm bad at last names, by
yeah,
the way.
yeah.
Levens. First time I'm seeing you, man. Hopefully, you
Our
know.
Jan's been in before.
Oh, okay, Jan. Okay, well,
Yeah, yeah.
welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Says Minte back in to tune a striker or right wing number two. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, we're gonna mention him. We did as well in the Maxim Five last night, and Minte is man, he's good, man. And we are at this point we are in no position to be turning players away, especially if they're getting it done wherever they're playing. You can say he's our best loanee out there, or at least the one that's taking,
I don't
taking
think there's
advantage.
any doubt about that.
Yeah, man, that's it. But you are one of the folks that says, well, he hasn't done it in the Premier League,
That's it. There's a
so
big difference between Eredivisie and Premiership.
I
Big
understand that.
difference.
I understand that, but
That's
but
all I'm
but
saying. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
You know, I don't want the world's expectation to be on this kid's shoulder when he turns out at the park.
right. Which, by
And
the way, yeah, sorry, go on.
because with all the rave reports he's getting in Holland at the minute, people are going to a lot of people are going to expect him to come to the tune and hit the ground running and be a world class superstar from day one, and that's not going to happen. He's a kid. He's a
Yeah,
kid,
but
and he's playing in Holland, not playing in the Prem. There's a world of difference.
no, I understand that, but at some point you got to try him out. You got to see.
Yeah.
So,
I
so
agree
yeah,
with that. But all I'm saying is, didn't get on his case if he's not as good as what everybody thinks he's going to be, thinks he
yeah.
should be.
I'll have faith. I think that he can be. I mean, listen. Again, we will never know, but what we know is we let Chris Wood away. We leave. We sold him, and now again we got good money for him. So ultimately it wasn't a bad deal. But in hindsight, which is something that we don't have, according to Eddie Howe, when we make deals and when we make decisions, um, is that Chris Wood is lighting it up today, man, in the Premier League.
Well, you're saying that he missed 2 sitters, exactly the same
Uh,
as the sitters he missed when he was playing for us.
well, but he's been scoring. Ultimately, you're not going to score every
Yeah,
game. You know what I
no,
mean?
but the 2 that he missed, I mean, how way they were harder to miss than they were to
Well, I'll
score.
tell you this though, Isak's missed a couple sitters.
And he certainly has, huh? He's actually going through a poor spell as far as I'm concerned.
Matt says I hadn't realized the Man U game is postponed. That's good news for us. Is it though? Is it good news for us? I think I'd like to play them. They stink right now, and I feel like we're a little bit on the rise. I don't know, man. But why did he get canceled again?
Well, they've got the FA Cup, but I don't think it has because I was originally under that impression, but then when I checked,
Oh, it
it
is
hadn't.
postponed. It is postponed right now at this moment. It says,
Oh, yeah, sorry, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Yeah, because that's
yeah,
why I put it to the bottom of our running, the
yeah.
new running spreadsheet. It's at the bottom because we don't know when it's going to be. It's the Crystal Palace one that's been rearranged for the 24th of April, I think.
Now, just for the viewers, we've we
Oh,
said that we were gonna do this when we started having these everyday shows, and but we kind of just let it be until we got about 1,000 subs, and then now obviously we're revisiting this, which is rebranding the YouTube channel. Obviously, we started with the American Mag because that was just me, and now it's not just me. We got people from all over the world, and obviously the American Mag is not just it's not something that everybody can relate to, and also where we're going as a channel. So in the 14 days, we can't do it now, but we've changed all our social media already. But in 14 days, we'll give like a teaching process to the viewers that we are switching to rebranding to the NUFC Talk TV YouTube channel, and I think that it's gonna be great because we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff, of course, Newcastle related, and our focus still is helping the club grow worldwide. And so we just rebranding a little bit. So just be aware that the logo's changed, but of course the name's still going to be on for the next few weeks to kind of sort of a teaching process for the viewership. And so if you know somebody that comes in the chat, and there was a previous viewer that's kind of lost, well, you let them know what's happening. And we're doing a little bit of rebranding here, and hoping that it works out for the channel. And of course, thank you to all the support right there for everybody. Beer says Eclipse my A, just turn your lights on and off, same thing. Yeah, I never really I guess I never thought. Have you ever seen the in Eclipse? Oh man,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we
was
had
that?
one here. It's a while ago. No, probably about 20 years ago. We had one here. It
Yeah.
was weird. Weird. When,
I mean,
when,
I
when
never. What is it? Just night? This is just like it's a night.
no,
Or
it's during the day. The
no, I know,
sun.
but I'm saying, does it feel like it's just like a night, like at
Yeah,
night?
yeah. That it goes as dark as night, and it's a real surreal feeling about it. But it only lasts seconds. You know the total eclipse only lasts. Well, in fact, it wasn't a completely total eclipse, but it was very
Total
weird.
eclipse of the heart. You ever heard that song?
Yeah,
Roxette,
yeah.
man, come on now.
Bonnie
Uh,
Tyler.
there we go. I don't know. I'll be at work, so I mean, if somebody reminds me, I'll go walk outside. But I guess it could be cool. My son, I'm probably is gonna look. My wife is so into the showing the kids, and thinking of how fun they would have. So she thinks all that stuff. I don't really. It comes to from this side, it goes out the other. I mean, it just now. But anyways, I mean, we'll see if it. I wonder if you could take pictures of it. Probably not. Anyways, thank you everybody. Ken Robinson, welcome back, welcome back. But Chris Wood, man, I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, should we have sold him? I mean, to be a third striker though, you would definitely need him at some point. Well,
I,
right
I,
now,
I just,
he-
I'm sorry, I don't rate him. I do not rate him. He's nowhere near where we need to be. Yes, you can argue when we've got nobody, he's better than nobody. But that's about it as far as I'm concerned. You know, he's had a little bit of a purple patch there, but showed on Saturday exactly why he isn't the real deal. You know, the two that he missed on Saturday are just, I
Yeah.
could have scored them. There you go.
Yeah, no, but he definitely failed to hit the target in this
You
match.
know, he didn't miss those when he was playing against us, did he? The twat.
Nah. Jan says, agree, but I have seen him play in most of his games now, and oh boy, he's better than a lot of our players, which would be strikers. But is he though? Is he a lot better than all of our strikers? I mean, essentially, he wouldn't be better than Callum Wilson, or he's not better than Isak. But the availability, it's a certain issue. You know, he seems to be built like a oak tree, man. This Chris Wood doesn't get hurt, but certainly has this.
And he moves like an oak tree as well.
Oh man, you got an agenda. See, people telling me that I have an agenda against the old man. He's got an agenda against Chris Wood, man. Because you know what I mean. Like you got to admit, at least he's making it
He's a
happen.
donkey, man. He's a
Now listen,
donkey.
but you,
I tell you what,
uh,
though. Listen, in his favour, the last season with us, sorry, the first season with us, there was only 4 players who'd scored at least 10 goals in the preceding 4 seasons. And Chris Woods was one of them. Everybody would have got Salah. Everybody would have got Kane. Everybody would have got Son. But the 4th player who'd scored at least 10 goals in the 4 consecutive seasons leading up to when we signed him, and he got 8 that season. He got 8 for Burnley and 2 for us, which put him on the 10 again. So,
but
that's his level. That's his level.
but listen. You have been saying Isak's not a striker. We don't, we need a proper number 9. Well, essentially,
I didn't say Isak's not a striker. I said he's not a centre forward.
Chris Wood essentially is your type of guy. You know what I mean? A trunk right there in the middle.
No, absolutely not. Callum Wilson's a proper number 9.
Okay, well, Ken says I've watched Mente regularly. He's not a Premier League ready. People, for once, I agree with Derek. People don't put too much pressure on this kid. No, I mean we agree that we shouldn't put too much pressure on him. That's 100%. But essentially,
But it's good. But the point is, it will happen if he comes back. It will happen.
Well, I mean, if it just why by becoming a Newcastle player. Is that what you're saying?
By all the hype that he's getting right now.
Well, I mean, but the hype he's earning that hype. It's not like people are just saying that just cause. We're not saying that about Hayden. I'm gonna tell you that at Queen Rangers Park. He's certainly earning his. We'll see again. I mean, it's
Hey, God, obviously, I want him to be as good as he would appear to be. But I just think everybody should just cool the order a bit.
Yeah. Is the eclipse supposed to hurt your eyes? Is that right?
Well, you can't look directly at the sun, obviously.
Yeah, so but if it's covered.
We used to, back in the day when you had photographs, proper photographs, not digital shit. And the photographs used to get negatives that you used to take to the chemist and get processed for you. Well, those negatives were what you used to use to look at the eclipse with. Look through that.
But
you're not supposed to look directly at it, or you get blinded.
But if it's covered, I mean, it wouldn't hurt your eyes if it's covered. If the sun is covered.
Yeah, but you want to watch it getting covered.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And until the moon has moved right into the middle, the sun is so bright you barely know. It's not until it's absolutely slap bang across it that you notice that it suddenly goes dark.
And what is an eclipse? Like the moon?
It's when the moon, from our perspective, standing on Earth,
right?
The sun's there, and it just so happens that the moon
crosses over
it. So as it passes where the sun is, It blocks the sunlight out, and because of the exact sizes, it's amazing, really. The coincidence because of the proportionate size of the moon to the sun. It almost exactly covers it, just like putting a slide across and switching the sun off.
Yeah, man. It's well, it's gonna be interesting to see it for sure. And like I said, it's I mean,
You didn't know you
I'm
were tuning into a science program, did you, folks?
no, listen, I love all that stuff, man. I think it fascinates me, but I'm not a nerd. Like it's gonna like I'm waiting outside for it. You know what I mean? Like I'll watch documentaries on that stuff all day, every day. But anyways, Matt says saw you on the official NUFC Instagram, Chris. I'm an NUFC legend, man. Well, of course you're gonna see me there. No, I'm playing it. It was a great time, and right there you see the this picture is gonna go on the wall, man. Can you believe Rob Lee? He just rubs his hand around my shoulder, and I'm like, I couldn't. And I told him, I can't believe you're touching me. And of course, he grabs me tighter, and he's like, of course, man. He starts laughing, and then they take a picture. We had a great time. I'm jealous of the little kid, man. He got a shirt designed and by I think by a bunch of players, so maybe it's from the team but great times, great times, ladies and gentlemen. And hopefully to do it again. Hopefully they'll come back. Some idiot on Twitter uh, posting images of or just like an emoji rolling his eyes to Newcastle's post that they were in Nashville, and then I go to the post and they're complaining that I bet these guys get free tickets to the games, and they get and they get lodging paid for and ticket and plane tickets paid for. What world are you living in, man? Where are you getting these people? That never happens. Number one. And John O'Hara is probably the guy because he goes there all the time. That he he goes to the pubs, and so he's become known among some people. He pays his own stuff. Nobody pays nothing for him. You know what I mean? And he's a retired guy, of course. And let me tell you this: these numpties are, by the way, counted. You can count them with one hand. The gatekeepers. There's a reason why tourists, as you call it, or international fans go to the stadium and are allowed access into the club. You know why? Not because of the club, because we mentioned it. We brought it up in the boardroom when we're talking with Darren Eels and Sarah Metcalf on something that we can improve. We certainly should have about 50 allocations, 50 tickets per se per month for international fans. 50 out of 55,000 is nothing, nothing. And if they don't get sold or by any reason, you still sell them to the local folks, right? And it will work out perfect. We don't have nothing like that right now, nothing.
Well, at the end of the season,
But
on
hold on. Let me just say this: the only reason why you would see me, right? And then if I decide to go to Newcastle next month, and you would see me, like if I decide to go to Newcastle tomorrow, the only reason why you would see me on the weekend in the game is because, to those people complaining, because of the local fans that are welcoming, that are loyal people that want the tune to be known. Those local fans that have season tickets, they give us the tickets. They stay home to give us the tickets. You know what I mean? They do it. So the people that you're essentially complaining about, the club doesn't give us tickets. None of that. It's the people, the Geordies, the true Geordies that want the club to succeed, that want that are welcoming, of course. They gave us the tickets so we can go to the stadium so quickly, rather say. Because right now, if you try to do this whole you know international ticket, it's a ballot, which you gotta wait like until a week before the match, and who's gonna buy tickets and plane tickets and prepare lodging when you're having uncertainty, you don't even know if you're gonna get in the game. So it's the own Geordies, the local folks that let us in. And so these gatekeepers, man, I'm tired of hearing about this.
well, on no, it wasn't Saturday, Tuesday, the Everton game, when all the Yanks were over. They were followed around the whole day. There was a group of about 20 of them, and they were followed around the whole day by a guy called Matt Willis, who was the overseas fans liaison officer from the club. Really looked after them, and I
Mm.
was talking to him in the Strawberry when they all came into the Strawberry, and he says, as from the end of this season, there's going to be a link on the official website for overseas groups. So overseas groups will be able to contact the section at Newcastle and arrange priority tickets.
Yeah, I mean, we only
So
say, listen,
that's starting at the end of this season. I made a note of it when I was talking to him in the Strawberry.
yeah, and I think it'd be great. We told Darren Eels and Sarah McCaff, head of supporters group, that, listen, man, it'll be nice if we can say we can go to the stadium, because it's nothing like in America. In America, you can go to any stadium at any moment in time that you want. Of course, within time, obviously, because they get sold out as well. And there is passion in American sports, unmatched passion, by the way, uh, for sports. So it's not, passion wasn't invented in England or South America, and so you can still go to stadiums, you can still go to events. So it has to be more organized. Now, again, the same people that are complaining about these are the same people that complain about PSR injuries and all that stuff. And us as fans, and I told Rory, he's also works for the media for the club. He interviewed me for the fanzine or program, whatever it's called, and which will be out 2 weeks from now. He said, um, you know, we certainly tell people in this channel, support the club. Go out there. If you're gonna buy shirts, if you're gonna buy memorabilia, buy it from the club, because it helps with the FFP. If you buy it from Amazon, if you buy it from eBay, I know it's nice, it's cheaper probably, but that money doesn't go to the club. And we told them this as well. That if you have certain discounts, if you try to compete with the prices in third party sources like Amazon, or you're going to get a lot more people to buy from your store, because obviously cheaper is better for most people. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
and
but it's the prices that get the sponsorship money
No,
up.
I understand exactly, but I'm saying, but so it's got to be a balance, like I said. But regardless, these people complaining, it's the same local fans. That's who lets us in the game, and nobody pays a damn flight ticket. Let me tell you something. Nobody pays no damn flight ticket. Now, if you get invited by the club in a special thing, I mean, I guess, but that's not happening to everybody. Yeah. Anyways, we talked about Chris Wood. I mean, I guess it's you don't want him, so
I
we're
Fox,
gonna.
Foxy's right. He's saying he deserves
Yeah,
a bit of
Foxy right there.
respect.
Yeah, he just Foxy says Chris Wood deserves a bit more respect, regardless what we think about his ability. His record is solid for the Premier League, perfect for relegation battling teams.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, which a lot of people are divided. Ian Fleming says Wood is a championship player, nothing more. That's his opinion, and to be honest, I mean, I'm not far from it. I'm just saying
I
he could.
I, I think I agree with that. I think if
Yeah.
Woods was playing in the Championship, he would
Eh,
get probably 30 goals. A bit like Dwight Gale.
but
Dwight
also I'm
Dwight
looking
Gale
at
in the
him.
Championship. Adam Armstrong.
And I'm looking at him as a third striker. And at one point in time, we needed a third striker that wasn't available. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he should be starting over anybody, to be honest.
Mm.
Last comment about Chris Wood. David Knight says Wood would have been great as a third striker. Worked hard, and we picked up lots of results with him up front. Never complained. When on the bench, we had to let him go for FFP. Yep, that's right. And not sure how much it helped though. How much did we get for him?
25.
25. That's quite a bit of money for Chris Wood, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Yeah, look at this. NUFC Science Week with the mighty win. That's right, man. And then somebody said, oh, Mighty Mac, I think, said that the temperature drops. Is that right?
Yeah, during the eclipse, yeah, it drops dramatically.
Oh, that's gonna be
because
awesome, man. Now I'm
there's no sunlight. It's weird. It's honest. It's weird. If you've never experienced it, it's weird.
so in that couple of seconds, the temperature on this side of Earth will be cold.
No, no, just in that one, you've got to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that in
I
that
don't know
moment.
exactly what the. There's only certain. There's only that one area of the Earth
Yeah.
where the shadow crosses, and in that particular area, yeah, temperature plummets.
I mean, it makes sense, right? But it's weird to think about. It's like that it can actually happen, and not only so many years. The last one was in 1877. The mighty wind was a 5 year old, and
Well,
uh,
a total eclipse happens literally every day, but it happens. It'll be in the middle of the. Normally, it's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so there's nobody actually in the
oh
middle of the Pacific Ocean at the time that it happens.
yeah, I was gonna ask that. I mean, it doesn't shouldn't it happen every time? But because if they orbit the same,
Yeah, well, the
they go
moon
the
goes
same.
around the Earth every day.
Right, it shouldn't change the pattern. So, but now that you're saying that, of course, every so often, then Earth gets to see.
But that whole time, the Earth's going around the sun,
Yeah,
so
uh,
it happens in a different place, and it's rarely that it happens on land
incredible, incredible.
in a
Welcome, trolls.
populated place.
Welcome, trolls. By the way, what's up, my brother? Says hey, yo, Ian. Now, listen. This is interesting. This topic right here. 96 people watching. By the way, we got folks. We are live on Twitter as well, and of course the YouTube channel. But we got something coming up here, which is it's funny. I just saw this earlier, and Newcastle's extremely difficult Sandro Tonali task as ex detective slams keyboard warriors. So Newcastle United have stressed there was no way the club would have known about Sandro Tonali's gambling addiction, and a former police detective who helps the club do due diligence has been has given his take on this matter. Now, I personally have said, maybe we should hire a personal investigator and all that, and maybe we should do that. But according, to this, the club already does, and I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to be honest. But he says this: it would have been extremely difficult for Newcastle to have found out about Tonali's gambling addiction or any breaches of gambling rules. The old days of players going into betting shops and being recognized are long gone. They can do everything on their phones to set up an account with a bookmaker. All you need are your bank details and an email address. That information remains private between you and the bookie. Who else is going to know? He added, for those people saying that Newcastle failed to do their due diligence, I'd say it's easy to create sound bites from the safety of your keyboard without knowing all the facts or the processes that were undertaken. Before I go to your take, that's 100%. I can agree with that, but that doesn't mean that Milan didn't know. Tonali, you gotta understand this. For people in the United States, Milan is like New York City. There's nothing goes unknown and unheard in New York City. Essentially, like in the small town where I live, where everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows what you do. Tonali is a top-rated player, born in Milan, follows Milan, playing for Milan. It's almost. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it has the condiments of Alan Shearer in Newcastle, right? Not he's not the idol or the icon that Allen was in Newcastle for Milan. But get the point. He's got eyes on him all the time. In Milan, reporters everywhere. There's no way. There's no way that Milan didn't know. And that is my point. Not if everybody else of Newcastle, they did us the wrong, and they were cool about it. But what do you think, man?
Well, I cannot believe that Milan didn't know about it. Cannot believe it. And that's the only thing to me that explains why we got him for 50 million. Because at the time, he should have cost 80, 90 million. And for them to sell him to us for 50 million, they knew what was coming round the corner. Stitched us up. I'm sure that behind the scenes, PIF's legal team are doing everything, or will have done everything to discover that. And I mean, you can go into millions of conspiracy theories, but it could well be that they've come to an agreement with Milan whereby they're not going to sue them or do them for malpractice, because there may be another transfer in the pipeline or whatever. We don't know. So that could be one reason, because, as I say, any contract of any weight these days invariably, almost always, contains a clause which has to be agreed to by both parties, which says words to the effect of, "Are you aware of any circumstances which could jeopardize the terms of this contract?" So Tonali has signed that, knowing already that he was going to be done for gambling. Milan have signed that contract, knowing that he was going to get done. And so they're both wide open for legal action, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm sure behind the scenes there must have been some deal done. It's either they're still ongoing and they're still preparing the evidence, or there's been a deal done to say, right, we got him for 15 mil, fair dues, our bad, and could they be paying some of his wages or whatever? We know. I think it's already been published now that he did take a massive pay cut.
Is that right?
For the year that he's been unavailable. So
Yeah.
the truth is, we will never know.
Let's go with what the folks are saying. Beer says, "Why are we talking about Tonali as if he was using a normal regulated bookmaker? He was using black market bookmakers, hence how Fagioli got 3 million in debt." Gary says, "No one would have known about the Tonali issue. My friend has 3 accounts, all in different names, to get the deals." That's fun. Just saying. Sorry, man. I just thought that was funny. Matt says, also poker and blackjack isn't legal in Italy, so that's part of the ban. Oh well, that's is that. See, I mean, I didn't know, but that's interest stake right there. Troll says, has the rat Fagiolo, isn't it Fagioli or Fagiolo, gotten any punishment? Can't say I have seen it, to be fair. Well, I mean, that's part of being
Yeah,
a
yeah.
rat. That's part of
I
being a
think
rat, man.
he got 3 months or something.
He got 6 months, I believe.
Massively reduced sentence compared to Tonali.
Yeah, of course. Mighty Mag Milan must have known about Tonali ban. Beer Bike in Milan has to know fire sale best player. Neil says the only reason I think they know is because of investigation and probably been tipped off by prosecutors in Italy. Matt, also, if he doesn't renew his contract out of goodwill this summer, I'm going to be real disappointed. Renew his contract.
No, his contract runs until
Yeah,
2028, isn't it?
yeah, we've given him a massive contract. This guy, over 100 people watching, ladies and gentlemen, 107 right now, combined with Twitter and of course YouTube. So please, if you're on the Twitter side, come on to the YouTube side, as we don't always stream on Twitter, and we always do every day on the YouTube. And you can find us right now at NUFC Talk TV. And just type it on your search thing, and you will find us. Me and the old man.
Contract
Right.
expires June 2028. Current contract.
There it goes. Right. So Charles says, can't discover if a player has an addiction. They don't talk about people about it. Well, that is true as far as an addiction is concerned, but the fact of betting and constantly doing that, there is a trace to that. There's just the action. Now, whether he's an addict or not, then that's you know, I mean, it's almost irrelevant to finding out the issue, right? Because I might not be like a drug addict, but if I smoked weed just recreationally for a day, if I go to my job and they do a drug test, they'll find out that I did the act of smoking pot or marijuana. I'm not an addict. I don't have to be an addict. Now, the addict thing, as far as we're concerned, is the thing that they used as a reasoning of what's happening. But I mean, ultimately, listen, it could have just been it could have just we could have just played the addict card as well. We don't know, man. I mean, I don't know Tonali, you know, to say any different. I know that we'd like to think he wouldn't lie.
I don't go along with all this addiction thing. Yes, he can be a compulsive gambler. Not a problem there. He's got a problem. Look at, but he doesn't have to bet on football. That's what he's been done for, betting on football.
Well, if he, I mean, football is what he knows. He would do that, right?
So it's that's not an addiction. That's kind of
Well, yeah,
been
I get the point.
well thought out.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome, Stephen Harker says, "Common Derek, they knew nothing. It's all opinions. 80, 90 million. He's 23 and not proved himself yet. He was an Italian world record in their markets much cheaper." Uh, well, I mean, so
I'm not sure what he means by Italian world record.
are you saying that he essentially the 60 million that we pay for him is not is what we would have paid for him anyway? Maybe he's saying that it's not really that cheap. For Tonali, I don't believe that. I mean, I think that let me tell you something. AC Milan is a club with uh enough. How can you say it? A good pair on them that they're not just gonna sell players if they're not happy with the price. I mean, it's not that the Premier League, any Premier League club comes to Milan and says, "Listen, I'm gonna give you this for Tonali, get him ready so we can take him to England." That doesn't work like that. It's you don't bully Italians, especially with with the history of Italians and Sicilians. And of course, we're talking about Milan. Somebody's going to educate me. It's not the same thing. Anyways, but the ultimate thing here is that AC Milan, they're not going to get pushed over. They wanted to get rid of him, and that was clear. I would have never thought that he was even for sale until that, and I'm sure this might have been a recurrent issue to where they were like, you know what, man, get this guy off because we're gonna end up losing points or whatever, something. You know what I mean? So, but that was just a point that I wanted to bring up about the investigator that said, "Listen, man, there's a bunch of keyboard warriors. We would have never known." But
Well, I'll tell you something, Steve. I'm just looking at what Stephen Hawker said. He said, well, look, and I've just checked it, and he's absolutely right there that the previous highest that an Italian's moved for was 57 million for this is euros, 57 million euros for Jorginho, and we paid 63 million for Tonali.
right.
And Buffon was 53 when he moved from Parma to Juventus in 2001. That's I find that incredible, actually, except for the fact that by and large Italians don't move.
That's exactly.
Because
Oh, you
the
took my
Italians
answer, man.
the Italians have got
Na-
that much money anyway that the
name
10.
me name me top Italian players that move out of Italy. Top.
Yeah, and so that's possibly the reason, which again in itself is a bit suspicious because Tonali is number. I mean, you could see when we went to the San Siro, I was there. You could see the adoration that the Milan fans still had for Tonali.
Oh, 100%.
It
They
was the equivalent.
they
It was equivalent, like you said before, of Shearer coming back to the tune.
because that exactly, man. And
And so again, it makes you wonder why he would come to the tune and why it was what it was.
Oh, look at
because
Foxy. Look at Foxy. Says no blame for Milan for me. As harsh as it is, it's on Dan Ashworth. Same situation happened when he signed an alcoholic for Brighton.
well,
Ooh,
Foxy knows what he's talking about.
mercy. That's a good one. He says I want my 10 months back. Says Matt. But that was a good thing. Now let's stay in Italy right now. Uh, let's stay focused to football and not La Camorra. If people don't know what La Camorra is, you need to look it up because I'm also fascinated with that. But let's move on to Torino, to Turin, and Juventus. We're not going to talk about Torino, the football club. Obviously, we're not. Hopefully, we're not buying players from that club. But Juventus, El
The
Corriere
old
dello Sport.
lady.
The old lady, man, the old lady. El Corriere dello Sport reports that Juventus are ready to receive an important offer from the Premier League side in Newcastle United, among other clubs, for Federico Chiesa. Man. It's Now this is a name that's been linked before. Obviously, Italian national, international player. Like you said, many of these top talents don't leave Italy. Kind of the same as in UK folks. Let's keep it honest. Now, say that you can say the Premier League is the best league in the world, so why would they leave? But I mean, only a few Englishmen have left, and only a few were
Yeah,
successful. Just
yeah.
to say the
Back
least.
in the day, it was quite common. Back in the day, you had the likes of Souness and Platt and Gaza. Uh,
Mhm.
but that was when Serie A was number one. That was before Sky took over here.
Yeah, and
Uh,
so but it would be interesting to see. Definitely do a due diligence and do a background check and talk to his granddaddy, grandmama, to il nono, la nonna, and his sisters, his cousins, his neighbors, everybody, because we don't know at this point. But Simone Chiesa, man, it's Federico Chiesa. I'm sorry, uh, top player, man. But you had an interesting take before the show started, and that
yeah,
is.
it's that I've looked at him because we were linked with him in the summer as well, I think. And I thought, well, what's all the fuss about? We've got if you look, he made his debut for Fiorentina when he was 18 in 2016-17. 27 starts, 5 GA, 3 goals, 2 assists, and then 36 and 10, 37 and 9, 34-16. That was his best season. That was just before he went to Juventus. And then since he's gone to Juventus, 30 games, 8 goals, 8 assists, 14 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, 21 games, 2 goals, 5 assists. These are Mickey stats. And this season so far, 26 games, 7 goals, 1 assist. Now, 1 assist for a winger for me is no great shakes.
I understand that. I understand that.
And
But
by the way, Andy's on some stupid amount of money as well. He's on 180,000 euros a week, so
mm,
that would make him the most, uh, the best played player at the tune. Because if you believe reports, Bruno's just gone up to 150.
well, I mean, you're right. But obviously, listen, there's a thing here. The Corriere dello Sport confirms that Juventus are willing to discuss a contract extension, meaning they don't really want to sell him. But it's Chiesa that refuses to commit to a long term future with the Bianconeri, and so the club will be forced to listen to other offers at the end of the season. So it's an interesting situation, but maybe he does want to try, go to the Premier League. This is a younger generation anyway, meaning it's not the old, it's not Del Piero or Pirlo that just wanted to stay.
That's the point I'm making. Those caliber of players just never left Italy.
Well, I know.
All of the top Italians just
Right.
always stayed in Italy.
Yeah, but
So that
but I'm
could
saying, but
account for
also,
why.
but it's a generational thing, though. Sometimes, I mean, you want to go to the Premier League. You know what I mean. You wanna try these things. Maybe the older folks were more, you know, homebodied, or and they wanted to stay in Italy. Uh, but I mean, I don't know. But the thing is, I think this is an interesting player. But I mean, let's look at what the folks are saying at some point. Shout out to Alan McCurcher, by the way. Welcome back, my man. This says Matt's too injury prone for me. This kid's a fella. Stephen Harker. They'll be interesting to see the injuries. Steven says, is it Stefan or Steven? Stefan, right?
Stephen
Oh, okay.
Stephen
Uh,
Hawker.
Chiesa has been linked in the last three windows last summer. No smoke without fire.
Yeah,
Foxy says Italians generally struggle in the Premier League. You have to go back many years to real successes with Zola, Di Matteo, Ravanelli. Chiesa has a horrible injury record. Well, that wouldn't be well.
and that's brilliant. Of course, Tino.
Australia, yeah, but he's not Italian. I thought Ginola would be. Ginola must have some Italian.
No,
Uh,
no, he's French.
I know he's French, but I mean, he must have some Italian. That's an Italian name, man. Ginola. Come on, man. You don't know your Italian words, man. You should be able to identify by now. You're old.
Hey,
I'm
man,
sorry. I'm
habla
sorry.
español.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. People are gonna be like, "Don't be old to the don't be old to the old man. Don't be mean to the old man. Don't be, you know." Yeah,
You
I
get
can't
locked
believe.
up again. I'll lock you up again.
Yeah, man. Ian says, I think it will depend on on this luxury tax vote as to who we get rid of and who we buy this time. Well, of course, that's the ultimate thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
that's the thing, and isn't it strange that that vote is going to be at the end of June
yeah.
when it'll be too late for Forest and Everton, but
Uh,
just in time for Man City and Chelsea.
yeah, yeah. All right, so I guess we got to finish off the show. We're 120 people right now watching, ladies and gentlemen. 120 people. Listen, get on to the. If you're on Twitter, come on to the YouTube side because you're missing out. We don't stream every day on Twitter, and of course, come on the YouTube side. You can find us right now. Type it on your search box at NUFC Talk TV, and you should be able to find us right now. So come over to the bright side, contrary to what the old man says. Gary says Tonali was the Milan's best players, pri- but players will move for money. I worked alongside Paul Merson during his late years. His gambling issue was never known until he was at the bottom. Ooh, Paul Merson's he's still going.
Well, he's a pundit on Sky now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, well now,
But I mean, he was fighting Tonali's corner. To be fair, when it all first broke, Merson was
yeah, yeah.
batting for
He
Tonali.
said he's actually trying to fight try to stop diarrhea at will.
Uh,
He said, which it depends. I mean, yeah, you can use that analogy for a lot of things. So that doesn't excuse it though, when it's a bad thing. But
as I say, my take on it is that if you've got a gambling addiction, fine, you can gamble, but just don't gamble on football. What's hard about that?
yeah, um,
To me, if it's purely football, you've got a specific gambling addiction that means you've got to gamble on football. That's just not for me. Call
yeah.
me old fashioned.
Um.
No,
Whoa.
but
Well, there we go. We got it. We're right here. Look, this is a nice take because Alessandro Minetti he is Italian himself, and he says if Chiesa comes to the tune, you can guarantee he will be a big deal. If you get the right players behind him to feed the ball properly, it would be magic. Juve ain't helping right now. There we go. That's interesting.
go
Um,
Packers.
so hi, Alessandro Minetti. Welcome, welcome, my brother. Listen, Chris, what time we're on tonight? We are at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. UK time. By the way, if anybody watches this or listens to this, if you're broadcasted before, if you've done a show before, if you got your nice setup, shoot me a DM or on Twitter at CTA Magpie or um, you can email me at right now, NUFC insiders at gmail.com. And yeah, let's talk because we're looking to add a show um, probably at 4 or 5 p.m. every day, probably 4 or 5 p.m. And so we'll have like a nice schedule, throughout the weeks and throughout the weekdays. So, uh, but yeah, stay tuned for that. Obviously, we can't do all the shows by ourselves. I mean, we gotta get some help. And plus, the old man, he's now very wanted right now in the streets. He can't jump out of his house. He's got reporters all over the place. It's not safe for him out there. I mean, we got to take a little bit of the attention from him. But let us know if you're ever interested in that type of punditry work, and of course, why not running your own show? And like Ian says, smash the like, subscribe to the channel, folks. Now let's finish this talking about Newcastle United, and you know, there's certainly everybody talks about the Newcastle's hospitality and how you feel warm when you come to the tune. And I do believe that. Essentially, I've never been, but I do believe it because also now that the club came over, the way they've treated us, my goodness, it's unbelievable. Gary Thomas, email me at nufcinsiders at gmail.com. Here, there we go. And I just put the email right there, and we'll get to chatting, man. Well, the hospitality and all that, amazing. But what the hell is going on? Is Alexander Isak is the latest victim of robbery gang. As Newcastle start home gets raided in midweek. It's happened to Joe Linton already. Um,
Well, the trouble is, everybody knows where they live, and
um,
obviously they know much. The same thing happened in Liverpool to Gerrard every time Liverpool went on a European away trip.
yeah, see,
the,
mighty
play,
man.
the gaff would get done.
But and the problem is they know when they're away. Yeah, you're
But
right. I mean,
that's right. But it's not as if they can't afford proper security. That's a bit that gets me.
like, what do you mean though? Like, you don't think they're? I would assume, don't they have number one? But this is the thing, because in the U.S., rich people in rich neighborhoods.
Though
I
we
mean,
don't, we tend not to have gated communities, if that's what you're on about. There's
yeah, you don't
very
have you
few.
got the gated communities.
No, no, none that I'm aware of in the northeast of England.
Are you kidding me, man? That is no, yeah. We gotta have a gated communities here. Uh, I mean, it's just incredible. So I mean, anybody really can just go to your driveway.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're just on a they just live on normal streets. Loads of big, massive mansions on the street, but the public thoroughfare, public right of way.
And so yeah, I mean, but it's incredible, man. And of course, these guys are at. I mean, especially in Newcastle, people know. I mean, you can't even if I'm sure Alexander Isak didn't just tell people where he lives, but he comes out to check the mail, and everybody knows where he's at. Um, so it's tough. Same thing with Joe Linton. Joe Linton said that he was watching the game. He was injured, and he gets a notification from his phone, from his Ring TV or whatever it's called. We got Ring in the house too, and tells that somebody's in the house, and he tells the authorities. He calls. Well, what is it over there? The number for the cops,
999.
999. And they get there, but too late, and so I mean, I don't know, man, but it seems a bit dangerous. I mean, it seems like, eh, I mean, I don't know,
No,
man.
this is a civilized country, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, 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 no. But what, you think that's normal? Hey, just somebody get robbed, no big deal. No, you can't think like
No,
that, man.
I'm not saying it's normal to get robbed at all. What I'm saying is I'm surprised that footballers haven't got
Proper
top of the tree security that prevents them getting robbed.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we don't know what if he's got cameras and all that, but he's not going to have police outside his house 24/7. I
No,
mean,
no.
so
But
it's
you could have private security company personnel outside his house.
You see, you essentially you're saying the same thing. Just have two big guys standing outside your house. So there's no privacy in that, man. There's no liberty. So you're essentially telling
No,
me that,
I'm just talking about when he's not there.
essentially you're telling me in
He's
Newcastle,
not gonna get. He's not gonna get done while he's in the house, is he?
well, I don't know that. I don't know, man. But I guess when I go to Newcastle, I have to have
You've got
security
no
around me.
guns here, man.
When I go to Newcastle, I have to have security around me because it's not safe to be there in the tune. So, just it's unfortunate the old man allows this living in the tune forever, man. I can't believe you. Welcome, Rach Lily. By the way, says good morning, guys, and all in the
No.
chat. Good morning, welcome to the chat. Thank you for being on, and hopefully you're subscribed. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I just wanted to point it out. I mean, hopefully everything is good. I guess this happened at 10 o'clock on Thursday night. So what was going on at 10 o'clock on Thursday night?
Got no idea.
Exactly.
He
So he's
wouldn't.
supposed to be.
He wouldn't. He shouldn't have been away. But I don't think they don't go until a Friday, do they? They go down because they train on a Friday, and then they travel down to the away game wherever it is.
Yeah, and he lives in Northumberland, residence. He's working into. But
Who
anyway,
lives in Northumberland?
Isaac.
Isaac lives in Gosford. Lives just down the road from me.
Well, the report here says the forward's Northumberland residence was broken into, and police were notified. So I guess they were wrong. So you can
Right.
essentially go and knock on Isaac's door.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would he answer you?
I don't know.
So you can go and say knock knock, and well, essentially somebody would open the door, right? I mean,
Within half a mile of me, I've got Isaac, Share, there's somebody else as well. Who's there, man? Mine's gone a blank. Senior moment. That's three of the first team squad living in
business
within half a
first
mile of me.
security measure. Don't get a ring doorbell. I got the ring security all over the place, man. It tells me who's in my house. And I can talk to him. I can do the alarm and everything. And Alan says no guns here, Chris. Oh, let me tell you something. That'll be the last robbery that this dude commits in America if he comes over here, not breaking my door down. I got shotguns, handguns. I got all kinds of stuff. Now, always though, gotta be secure and gotta can't allow everybody to have guns. That's the problem in America. Everybody's able to, but yeah, But Neil says, Chris, when you have Don win, you will be fine. Nah, man, I gotta defend this old guy. And hey, there's a picture of you that you've shared with me privately. You gotta put that on here. I won't show that one without your permission. You were all fucked up. But anyways, will give you a nice backstory to that. But anyways, welcome everyone. Rach, welcome you as well, and hopefully that you're doing well. We got to go tonight. Live show at 10 p.m. We're gonna bring it's a new restructure fans forum with other YouTubers come on have their say, and we're gonna have a good time. So definitely talk about the game, of course, and talk about Newcastle United. And thank you for being on the show. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will see you tonight. Bye
And hit
bye.
those light, folks, on the way out, please.
Hit the
Thanks for
lights.
watching.
See you later. Bye.